Hey guys, want to do a video. I just sat through a class for one of our companies that they offer a bunch of different things. They offer my guys at Griffin Air coaching and things like that. And they also they partner with other companies and they do financing and they do all kinds of things. I have done other videos in the past on this subject, but I have never been more irritated. I had no intentions of recording today, but I just got done with this webinar and I was like, I need to throw up the camera real quick because it just pissed me off. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I was just so frustrated. You know, if you are doing any homework on the heating and air industry, you already know there's issues. When I started Griffin Air, I avoided a lot of the issues that a lot of companies have to deal with, like overhead, companies wanting to charge for this or that, financing, and some of the problems with that. And then, of course, if you've been watching any of my videos, the problems that you know that I have with some of the scams and problems out there. So I signed up for this webinar. This company that I'm talking about, I'm going to leave their name and some of the other names out. I'll be as specific as I can without slandering someone, but everything I'm going to share is true. But this company, they offer all kinds of different things to small heating and air businesses, which is part of the reason that we signed up with them. And so they do these webinars trying to help contractors with different things. And this particular webinar was about financing, and they were bouncing ideas about different things on. But they got on the subject of financing. Maybe I don't agree with everyone on certain subjects, but this is one subject that I feel like if you don't agree with me on, something is wrong with your ethics. You are very unethical if you don't agree with me on this. And I'm going to get more into that in just a second. But the class was being taught, it was being led, if you will, by a guy from this coaching company. And his two guests were it was two ladies. One lady from the New Flat Rate. If you're not familiar with that, it's a company that teaches contractors how to sell more to their customers, basically. They package it a little differently, but that's essentially what they're doing. They're trying to help the contractor package repairs and things like that in a certain way to get more money out of the customers. And of course, they're going to charge the contractor money, which means that contractor's overhead just went up, which means their pricing to their customers just went up. I digress. And the second lady was from a company called GreenSky. If you've never heard of GreenSky, most people in the heating and air industry at least have heard of them. But if you've never heard of them, they're basically a company that does financing for different things, including new heating and air equipment. And they were just acquired recently by Goldman Sachs. So that's their big claim to fame. Anyway, so this class started and they were talking about basically financing and how you can build it into your pricing. They were talking about financing and something called dealer fees that we don't have at Griffin Air and we don't have it at New HVAC Guide. And I'm going to talk about that at the end of this video, how you can avoid some of the scams, fees, and a lot of the crap that contractors are putting their customers through, because ultimately in some cases they think they have no other choice because of the fees and the problems that a lot of these companies are charging. Anyway, so got into the class and they were talking about how, with dealer fees from your financing company, you can build it into your pricing and they can show you how to do that. I just asked a simple question. I just said, hey, so building it into the price, you're saying that a cash paying customer should have to pay more, a higher price. Do you really think that's ethical? In your opinion, do you think that's ethical? You should have seen their reactions, and that's why I got pissed off. Because first of all, they all got very condescending. The lady from New Flat Rate was kind of laughing, which pissed me off. So condescending, this lady. And then the lady from GreenSky actually seemed somewhat mad that I would ask a question like that. And so they all kind of went around on what their thoughts were on it. One of the arguments was made that they think that if you were to charge the customer, now bear with me, follow me on this. Their argument was, if you were to go to the customer after the customer has decided to do business with you, so if you chose Griffin Air and you went to Griffin Air and said, I'm ready to buy the system, and then Griffin Air said to you, the customer, hey, well, since you're financing, we have to charge you this fee that we're charged. It's a dealer fee. And they were saying how unethical that would be of the contractor, how shysty that would be. And I'm over there like flabbergasted because I'm like, you're the one charging the fee. The contractor, Griffin Air, would be just passing the fee on to the customer And you think that's unethical, and you're the one charging it. I'm just floored. If you can't tell, I was screaming at my computer in this webinar because I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You're saying the contractor, let me get this straight. You think the contractor is being unethical because they're passing on that fee that you are charging. That's just unbelievable. If you've watched any of my YouTube videos, you've never seen me this fired up over a subject because I was floored by these people's reaction. This lady from GreenSky and a lady from New Flat Rate, and how condescending they were. You know, guess what? If you see this video, I'm the one that asked it, and I'm doing a YouTube video on your company because of your attitude towards it. You think it's unethical. You gotta be freaking kidding me. So after that comment was made, then the lady from GreenSky got into this topic about how it's basically, oh, it's just the cost of doing business. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think the heating and air industry is one of the only industries out there that the contractor, they are being charged a fee to provide that financing. Any other industry out there, if you go to the mortgage industry, for example, so if you were to go get a mortgage and you buy that mortgage from someone, they get paid to sell that mortgage. But in our industry, we are charged money to sell that loan. And so maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe I'm ignorant to how all this works, and I'm sure that's what it is. I'm sure someone will comment on this, say how ignorant I am, because I am. I'm ignorant about everything. On all my videos, I'm ignorant. But I just think it's just so crazy that there's other industries that they can create full six-figure income salaries off of the money that they're making from these loans. And then here we are in the heating and air industry, and we are being charged, the contractor is being charged to offer that financing. And then finally, that little discussion they had, the guy from the coaching company said, oh, well, I think if you were to offer a cash discount to a customer because they're paying cash instead of getting your financing, that's unethical, that you're lowering the price for them. So again, let me get this straight. So let's just back up. So if we at Griffin Air, at a small heating and air business, if we were to say to our customers, hey, we're going to lower our prices because we don't have dealer fees, we don't pay that junk, and so we don't build it into our pricing, we give the best pricing we can, and so because of that, it's unethical for us to do he's calling it a cash discount. So because a lot of our customers pay cash, for us to lower our price and eliminate the dealer fees, oh, well, that's just unethical. And then finally, the last thing they said before they wrapped up this little hobnob where they were just going in circles and making fun of the person asking this silly question, and that is the lady from the New Flat Rate then said, oh, well, this is just the way business is done. And her exact quote was, we're all here for profit. Why would we pretend that we're not? Why are we always pretending that we're here for profit? If I wasn't going to work for profit, well, I would just go work at Starbucks. That's what she said. And I'm just floored. Of course we're here for profit. Your local HVAC company, yes, of course they're working for a profit. They've got families to feed. To me, that was just a silly response. Well, why are we pretending we're not here for profit? They're totally avoiding the actual issue. What they're basically saying, and I'm going to break it down one more thing, and then we're going to wrap this video up because I've got two more things that I'm going to drop on you. But what they're basically saying is they think it's more ethical because they charge dealer fees for their loans. And we're going to talk about how New HVAC Guide avoids all that. Stay tuned. But they think it's more ethical for them to be able to do that. So this heating and air company should charge these dealer fees to their customers, raise everyone's prices up because of it, and that's more ethical than someone that just says, hey, look, I'm not going to charge my cash customers a fee that is charged to the company because someone is financing over here, okay? They think that's more ethical, right? There's a huge disconnect there. Now, you can make the argument, I've had this argument with other heating and air owners, and it's a valid argument. They say, look, we've got to provide financing in our market. We've got to make a living. We do build it into our pricing. It is part of our overhead. We have to do that. Gotcha. That's a valid argument. But don't sit here and tell me that at Griffin Air that we're less ethical because we don't raise our prices up on everyone just because this company over here, GreenSky or Wells Fargo or whoever else, Synchrony, whoever the company is, don't tell me that we're less ethical because we don't charge that when these companies do. So if your heating and air contractor is using one of those companies I just mentioned or some other company that provides heating and air financing, chances are if they are not charging you any kind of processing fee, you are paying that dealer fee even if you pay cash. You are paying for that. For other customers of theirs, you're paying for it. I had to calm down before I even made this video. I do have two more things I'm gonna drop on you. Later in this webinar, I'm gonna, I'm sure they'll never see this video. Here I am, I'm just some small guy that does this for fun on YouTube. But as they moved on through this webinar, they started talking about other things when it pertains to these small heating and air companies. They basically talked about how 97% of heating and air companies are 1 to 3 million a year. And then I think as you went up to 5 or 10 million, it was like 1.8% of the companies in America that do heating and air fall in that category. And then as you went on up to like 50 million plus, the percentages dropped. I think if I remember correctly, only 0.2% or 0.02% of the entire industry contractors do over 50 million a year. Those are just statistics, right? But then they proceeded to give business advice to those guys, to the guys that own small heating and air businesses. My only problem with that is, first of all, their condescending attitude still, right? So they're in there acting like they know so much. They've never even owned a heating and air business, but they know so much about how to teach you how to own yours and how for you to be successful. But this lady from the new flat rate, she was saying, well, when you implement change in your company, will some of your technicians quit? Oh, well, probably. Yeah, but you wouldn't want them anyway, which maybe that's true. I'm not saying it's not true in a lot of cases. Maybe if someone at your company isn't necessarily a team player and you're trying to make the company better or make their job easier and they quit because of that, then fine. Maybe she's right on that. But for them to be giving this kind of business advice, they proceeded to go on into other ventures and give advice on what these guys should be doing with their businesses and what they think works best. My biggest issue with all of that is you've got these people that are sitting there watching the webinar just like I am. They're eating this up. They're trying to grow their businesses. They're trying to do the best they can with the hours they have in the day. They're taking advice from these people that don't have their best interests at heart, okay? All they really care about is making money, right? For them, right? They're leeches, and I know that's really harsh to say, but that's what they are, right? They're leeching onto a relationship, a heating and air business that was already going to fix that air conditioner or replace that air conditioner or whatever they were going to do for that customer, and they leech onto that relationship and suck blood out of that relationship. They suck money out of it. And they say, we're going to help the business make more money. Well, you better, because you're leeching onto them and charging them money. Right? You better help them make more money so they can afford to pay you. And it's just so frustrating in our industry. It's not just my industry. It's all kinds of industries. There's all these people out there that are going to coach you or they're going to teach you how to do something. And that's why I love a lot of the guys that I follow, because a lot of them will just say, look, I don't know your industry very well. This is kind of what I'm seeing. Here's some advice, whatever. For these people to be as condescending as they were on this webinar, it just blew me away. I was just floored. I was screaming at my computer when they were saying some of the things they were saying. It just floored me. The last thing I'll say, if you are a business owner of any type, service business of any type, I'm not a coach. This is not me trying to say I'm going to give you the magic to success like these people in this webinar think that they are. But I do have a way for you to be able to get around other successful entrepreneurs in your industry. And if you head over to our website, I'll put a link in the description down below. But if you head over to New HVAC Guide and scroll to the bottom, there's groups of other business owners that you can join. You can bounce ideas off of one another, and we will sometimes have guests in those groups that will teach you how to grow your business from people that actually have grown businesses. And then the other thing I'll say is, if you are looking at financing, we offer financing with no fees. So I would almost dare say, if you can find a contractor in your market that doesn't have a relationship with one of those companies that are leeching onto them and charging them dealer fees, and then you get your loan from New HVAC Guide, you go to our website and you scroll down and click on the financing, and it's all done third party. You won't be able to have a company hide fees or raise their price and build it into a monthly payment. It's always funny to me when they say build it in. What they're saying is raise your price. Build it into your price. Well, raise your price is what they're saying on your customers. But anyway, if you're a customer that needs financing, head over there. You can get it all third party, no crazy fees, and multiple options. All that said, thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody's support. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.